It says that Billy Bob produces gadgets in 2 plants. If plant A is brought online, cost in plant A is 50 plus 4QA squared. If plant A is not brought online, cost is 0 in plant A. So that fixed cost is not sunk. So if we don't bring plant A online, if we don't build the factory, we don't have to pay that $50. In plant B, cost is given by 100 plus 4QB squared, whether or not plant B is used. So that $100, in other words, is sunk. We're going to have to incur that $100 even if QB equals 0. We're still going to have to incur that $100 fixed cost. It is sunk. Well, the question is asking what is the minimum cost of producing 4 units? So first let's compare. If we only produce in plant B, that'll cost us $164. If we only produce in plant A, well, we have to pay that $100 from plant B no matter what. And now we add that to the cost in plant A and we get $214. So we would never produce only in plant A. That wouldn't make sense. The options would be only to produce in plant B or to produce in both plants. So if we didn't produce in both plants, we set the marginal cost of A equal to the marginal cost of B to see how many we produce in each plant. We see that's 8QA equals 8QB or QA equals QB. So we know we want to produce 4 units total, which is going to equal how much we produce in plant A plus how much we produce in plant B. We can use substitution here, and we see that it's going to be 4 equals 2QA or QA equals 2. So we're splitting production evenly among both plants, which means QB will also equal 2. So if we use both plants, it would cost us, we plug in 2 to plant B's total cost function to get 116. We plug in 2 to plant A's total cost function to get 66. We add those two together, and we see that if we use both plants, it will cost us 182. Well, only in plant B costs us 164, so we're going to only produce in plant B. The next question says, at what output level does it become worthwhile to run both plants? Well, we already found that C, which says 4, is not going to be worthwhile to run both plants. We already found that we'd only produce in plant B if we're producing 4 units, so we can get rid of that. Anything lower than that, we know is going to also not be right, because if it's not worth it to bring on both plants to produce 4 units, then it definitely won't be worth it to bring on both plants to produce anything less. So D we can get rid of. Now let's look at the next choices. 5, let's take 5 units for instance. Only in plant B, we plug in 5, we see that would cost us $200. Well, if we use both plants, we would set the marginal cost equal. We know that we're going to split production and produce 2.5 units in each plant. So 2.5 units in B would cost us 125, and 2.5 units in A would cost us 75. So the total cost is 200. So A is our right answer here, because at 5.1 units, it will be less expensive to use both plants than to only use one plant. So 5 is where it becomes worthwhile to run both plants. 5 is exactly the point where it becomes worthwhile to run both plants. Anything above 5, we know that it'll be less expensive to run both plants than to just produce in one. But again, 5 is that cutoff point. So our correct answer here is A.